Hi everyone, welcome to my travel channel. I hope you will enjoy this video, and if you like it, please subscribe to help us grow. Now enjoy! Savannah, Georgia is one of the nicest cities I have ever visited, and it's because of its history and colonial architecture. So let me show you what I have visited in just 4 days. I spent most of the time in the historic district. However, I did take one trip out of the district, which I will talk about a little later as well. We began the first day at St. Neo's Brasserie, which has a really nice interior design, and I ordered the delicious eggs benedict. After the breakfast, we rented the bikes from our hotel, and we were on our way to explore the area. The historic district is a beautiful area that is very walkable or easily explorable on bikes. The district has about 22 small squares where you can sit and relax. The architecture of the colonial houses is very beautiful. Every building is unique and well maintained, and some of the houses have even little courtyards. The white oak trees with the Spanish moss and blooming azalea bushes give the city even more charming feel. Our first stop was Jones Street, which is considered one of the prettiest streets in the US, and I can confirm that is true. Pretty courtyards, blooming flower boxes, white brick paved streets, unique staircases, and patriotic flags were a feast for the eyes. Our next stop was the Fountain and Forsyth Park. This park has it all: tennis and basketball courts, grassy fields, flower gardens, and coffee shops. Forsyth Park is also popular for proposals and weddings. The Fountain is the most well-known and photographed place in Savannah, so go check it out! When you exit the park, across the Dragon Street, you can see the Candler Oak Tree, which is the oldest living landmark in the area. It's estimated to be between 350 to 450 years old. It's definitely worth stopping by if you're in the area. Our next stop was Owens Thomas House Museum, where you can experience the daily lives of the wealthy merchant families, but also the lives of enslaved people who labored at the property. The house contains furniture and art from the English Regency period. The house also has a well-preserved slave quarters, which you can enter as well. In the basement of the house, you can see notes and the letters from the era about how the noble families treated their enslaved labor by threatening them, punishing them, and separating them from their family's members. Unfortunately, those notes are very sad and heart-touching. However, take your time and read through all of them. So after the Owens Thomas House, we went to Telfair Academy. The Academy is a mansion built in 1800s, and it has collections of paintings and sculptures from America and Europe as well. If you have time and like art, you should definitely check this place out. After the museums, we continued our bike trip to the historical Colonial Park Cemetery, which used to be a burial ground, but now it is a city park. When you visit the cemetery, you will see some gravestones leaning against the wall. It's because during the American Civil War, when the Union troops occupied Savannah, they purposely, for fun, damage and relocate some of those stone marks from its original location. Our next stop was the Cathedral Basilica of St. John's. We didn't spend there a lot of time, but at least we checked how it looks inside. Also, there is a cute coffee shop right across the cathedral which sells very tasty chai latte. The next morning, we went to Coffee M for breakfast, which is a cute French coffee place on East Bay Street, with an excellent food and relaxing atmosphere that sets the mood for a perfect day. I ordered Provence sandwich, which was very yummy. After our breakfast, we took a 6-hour tour outside of the historic district. Our first stop was Bonaventure Cemetery. Bonaventure is a traditional Victorian cemetery with pathways, a lot of live oak trees, and grassy fields. This cemetery should be definitely on your bucket list. If you take a guided tour as well, you will learn about the history of the cemetery, and your tour guide will tell you interesting stories about some monuments and tombs. For example, about the Little Gracie Watson Memorial. After Bonaventure Cemetery, we went with our tour for lunch to Drift Away Cafe. We sat outside on patio, and the patio was decorated with a lot of cute little tchotchkes. I ordered traditional southern food, firecracker shrimp, which was pretty good. After lunch, our next stop was Wormslow Plantation. This place used to be countryside farmhouse for Noble Jones. Jones initially planted several types of crops, including corn, rice, various fruits and vegetables, and possibly indigo. Jones also used enslaved labor to make Wormslow profitable. However, if you're expecting a mansion with long vegetable fields, then you will be disappointed. Unfortunately, there is not much left from the buildings. On the property are just ruins and trails that goes through the property. After our tour, we were dropped off in front of the historical Cotton Exchange building, which architecture purposely stands out from all other buildings around, as a symbol of cotton's importance back in time. Cotton used to be stored in warehouses on the River Street, which are now turned into shops and restaurants. Cotton used to be shipped all over the world and earned Savannah a fortune. River Street is a street with a bunch of shops, restaurants, hotels, and markets. We particularly like one of the shops with all kinds of artworks from the local vendors. If you want to buy some of the art pieces and you worry that it will not fit in your suitcase, they can mail it to you. On the River Street is also River Street Market, which is open-air market where they sell a lot of things from the local vendors and artists, just the way it used to be. At the end of the River Street is a cool, immersive baobab lounge with design from African cultures. You should definitely check it out and have cocktail or appetizers there. It's a great place to wrap the day up. On the last day of our trip, we took about 3-hour-long African American walking tour within the district. During this tour, we learned about the unfortunate history of enslaved labor, which was very important for the economy of the Savannah back in time. This tour was very heart-touching, and you will realize that Savannah was built by enslaved labor, and that even the bricks you are standing on were manufactured by enslaved labor. Another interesting fact that I learned on this tour is about the rocks that the most of the streets from Savannah are built from. Those rocks were brought from England during the voyages. The purpose was to weigh down the ships to stabilize them to be able to move across the sea. Once the ship arrived, they dumped the rocks in Savannah, and those rocks were used to build the roads and walls. On the way back to England, the ships were transporting commodities such as rice, cotton, and indigo. The rocks often are related to enslaved labor, meaning Savannah streets and walls were built with rocks from another land by people from another land. Our tour guides also performed a little act performance of enslaved woman crying because she was separate from her children. As I said, the tour was very heart-touching. After the tour, we went to the Pirate's House restaurants for dinner. Because of its location on the river, the Pirate House used to be an inn for visiting sailors and pirates. Of course, I had to try southern cuisine, so I ordered shrimps and grits, which were very delicious. Across the Pirate House are the Fancy Pheasant boutique cottages, where they sell a bunch of cute things from over 30 local vendors and artists. Interesting is that the cottages used to be home to the Savannah Gas Company, and the pipes that ran natural gas all the way from Texas are still on the yard. We finished the day and our whole trip by visiting a local bookstore. So if you want to learn more about the history, stop by at this bookstore and buy some books so you can learn a little more.